Hi guys, we are meeting again to discuss the leadership theories of this organization behavior subject. It is the last unit and last part of the whole syllabus itself. Let me just share the screen and the presentation with you so that you can read it. I hope you can see my screen now. So let's talk about the uh, leadership theory versus trait theory. Trait theory, basically suggests that the effective leaders possess certain inherent qualities of the trait that distinguish them from the non-leaders. These traits may include intelligence, self-confidence, integrity, determination, social ability, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence, this word itself has got a big time meaning. You understand this, please. In nowadays, in today's condition, in today's world, emotional intelligence is at most required to become the leader, right? If you understand the people emotionally, then things will happen, right? Like sympathy and empathy, these are two words. Sympathy is more important than sympathy, right? You talk about confidence and conviction, so conviction becomes more important, right? So that's how it is. Emotional intelligence is the key when you talk about placing yourself in somebody's mind. So trait theory basically seeks to identify the specific characteristic associated with the effective leadership and predict the leadership success, right? um, so and however, trait theory has been criticized for oversimplifying, and that's true. I mean, when you that is what I believe in, that is what my opinion is also, that it is oversimplifying the leadership, because leadership and one more thing which I want to talk here, what I generally feel that uh, leaders, if you be there in that kind of environment, it is possible that you can one can develop those skills later on. So it is not inherent, uh, it can be achieved also, right? It can be, later on, it can be learned and developed, right? So this is what it is. You talk about the behavioral theory. Behavioral theory leadership focuses on the observable behaviors and actions of the leaders rather than the inherent trait. Now, trait theory versus behavioral theory, if you talk about behavior, is focusing on the behavior, right? And that is where this traits come in picture, right? If your behavior is such, it simply means that you have got those traits, right? So combining together, right? You can combine it together, right? Behavioral theory and the trait theory. Traits are important, and you talk about the behavioral theory. There are certain key concepts within the behavioral theory. One is like task-oriented behavior, right? You talk about the relationship-oriented behavior, initiating, structures, consideration. There is one leadership grid, which I'll be talking about in detail. That is important, right? Leadership grid. And we are talking about the organization behavior, right? We are talking about the organization. So when you talk about the task-oriented behavior, refers to the, leadership behavior that prioritize the achieving the specific goal, right? So it is possible that the person is only focusing on the specific task, and that task will be completed, right? So there are, typically directives in their approach. And it is also possible that, you know, they assign the roles, setting deadlines, all those things they do. But it is also possible, if you remember, we had discussed about the autocratic leadership, right? Uh, in one unit somewhere. Can we relate it with that particular leadership? I don't know. I mean, you need to just think about it. I feel yes, because you are talking about the specific goals and you are talking about only task orientation, right? So you are going to direct the people, you are going to supervise the people, and you are going to monitor them, right? Monitor the performance. So it is autocratic. You have really given the instructions that things has to be done, and that's it. So autocratic, you know, compare it. This is like your homework. Please do it. Try to apply the concepts and then see what happens. And if you get any kind of doubt, anything, if you want to discuss, you can come back to me. I'm really open for that. I mean, I'm always open for the discussions, right? And that's how we develop the theories, right? If you apply your brain, probably will develop some other theory of the motivation, right? Of the organization, right? So it happens. We talk about the other theory which is into the relationship orientation, right? Where people talk about the relationship, they focus on the leadership, basically focus on the prioritize the positive relationship, trust, collaborations, right? And that's how they want to complete the task, right? Relationship orientation or the oriented leaders, you know, and demonstrate empathy. Now, see the word. This word is important. As I said, relationship oriented leaders demonstrate the empathy, right? Support and the consideration for the individual needs. So if you understand and others problem, right, people will automatically start liking you or appreciating you, right? So you automatically becomes the leader. As I said, in the organization you get power in two ways, formal and informal, right? So formal comes with the designation, right? Authority comes with the designation, but informal comes with your behavior. So behavioral theory comes in picture there. If you show your empathy, if you understand the people, if you understand their needs, right, you are maintaining the relationship, you are supporting them, you are collaborating with them, right? So automatically they start appreciating you, and that's how the power comes to you, right? So this is important. Now, basically they foster a supportive and inclusive work environment, right? Everybody is there. They are trying to produce, create the conducive environment for everyone. So this is relationship oriented behavior rather. Then you talk about the consideration. Consideration is the key aspect of the relationship oriented behavior that involves showing concern for the welfare, feeling, and the opinion. Now, understand there are certain managers in the organization, they clearly believe in that if you don't want to do the work, please do not do work. I mean, they do it for themselves, right? What they feel like, you should always talk about the work, right? You should always talk about the work and let people feel that you are really concerned about the work, though it is not the actual case, right? But that sense has to be, you know, put in the system that yes, you are really concerned about the work. So people are actually, taking advantage of it. Ideally, it should not be done. At times, it is, right? So consideration basically is a key aspect, right, of relationship oriented behavior that involves the showing concern, welfare, feelings, opinion of the team members. You need to have build the rapport with the team members. You need to have the trust, mutual respect. Respect is important, right? And then people will automatically start respecting you and appreciate you. So this is consideration. You talk about the initiating structure, basically component of the task-oriented behavior, right? Organization, it involves the organizing, planning, coordinating, right? The thing I was saying in the task orientation, I was linking it with the autocratic, if you see. So there are different work which generally they are focusing on organizing, planning, coordinating, which are basic work of the management, right? So leaders who exhibit initiating structure clarify roles and the responsibilities and establish procedure and the standards. So policy making, right? You define the roles of the people, right? And these people focus on the goal achievement, right? So this is initiating a structure, leadership grid. This is important to understand, because why I say it is important, because it is actually trying to trade off between two things. One is the people and the other one is the production. Both the things are important for an organization, because without these two, organization will not survive. I mean, it will not exist, right? So human resource is important, So leader, has to be such who is concerned about the people also, who is concerned about the production also, because without production, you will not get the benefit, the revenues. And without people, you will not be able to produce anything. So how you'll get the revenues, right? So organization needs to have or the leader or the management, needs to have the trade-off between these two, right? And keep the balance. Basically, this leadership grid was given by Black and Mountain. So we know this particular leadership grid by that also, the Black and Mountain grid, right? Is the model basically characterize leadership style based on two dimensions, which is concern for people and concern for production. So if you see here, it is clearly written 1.1, which is no concern for both people and production. I'll just show you the chart and then you will understand it better. Uh, Here is the chart. If you see in this chart here, 1.1, this, right? 9.1, 9.9, 19, and 55, right? Now first understand what is there at the x-axis and what is there in the y-axis. So x-axis is talking about the results, that is production or something else, right? Concern for the results. Then you talk about the y-axis, it's concern for the people. Without this, things are not gonna happen. So you need to have a trade-off between these two. You need to make the balance between these two to get the work done also, and people will, you need to keep on motivating people, right? You need to keep the motivation high of the people. So here we have low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cells are there, grids rather. Then low to high, 1 to 9, right? Now, this particular cell or this particular kind of leadership is known as the where 1 and 1. So low concern for the result and low concern for the people, right? In the previous slide, if you see here, low concern for both people and production. Then 1, 9, if you talk about, 1 9 is high concern about the people, but low concern about the results, right? Then you talk about 9 1. 9 1 is high concern about the results and low concern about the people. And then you talk about 9 9, high concern about results and high concern about people, both the things. Hmm. Then you talk about midway, middle of the road management, 5 5, right? Where concern of people is there, concern of results also is there. So we have given, the names of this thing. 1 1, if it talks about improvised management, right? Where exertion of the minimum efforts get required to work done is appropriate to sustain the organization membership, right? We talk about 9 1, where we have high concern for the results and low concern about the people. So authority compliance management, right? So it is like autocratic, you can say, or earlier we used to have, in the starting phase, we used to have this kind of management where people were only get supervised and get the order and they get the work done. Or, this is authority compliance management. Then you talk about the 1 9, where the concern for people is really high and people concern for results or the production is low, right? So it is country club management where thoughtful attention to the needs of the people for satisfying relationship leads to a comfortable, friendly organization atmosphere. So every kind has got the positive and the negative side. If you see in 1 9, environment is really friendly. People will not leave the job, right? They will be there with the organization. But the point here is production is at a stake. Right, if you talk about 1 1, both the things are at stake, right? People neither people will be happy nor production will be happy, right? If you talk about the 9 1, productions will be happening, but people will not be happy, right? So it is more into the given the instructions and work is getting done. If you talk about the 9 9, that is team management. Concern for people is high, concern for results is high. Work accomplishment from committed people interdependence through a common stake, right, in the organization purpose leads to the relationship of trust and respect. If this thing happens, nothing like it. Now, this kind of theory, this particular uh, grid, you know, will tell you you can apply this grid in different projects, right? If the project is such which needs to be get completed in certain time period, their autocratic leadership is important. You need to just give the instruction, other people will follow. Use that. There is no problem. But at the same point in time, in the long run, you need to take care of the leader, people also, right? You need to take care of the people, otherwise, or they will leave the organization. So this is basically leadership grid which was given by Black and Mountain, right? So high concern for both people and production, right? So if you see in this, uh, you talk about the leadership grid, it highlights the importance of balancing concern for people and concern for production to achieve the effective leadership, right? So behavioral theories basically, of the leadership emphasizes the importance of leadership behavior and practices in influencing employee motivation, satisfaction, performance, by focusing on the observable behavior rather than the inherent traits. Okay, so if you talk about this Black and Mountain, here also it is very much clear. If you see in this chart, Black and Mountain managerial grid, y-axis, high concern for people, low concern for people, x-axis, low concern for production, and high concern for production, right? So here we have the authority, obedience, leadership, autocratic. If you see here, commanding, right? You talk about this improvised leadership. You talk about this where you have the high concern for people, country club leadership. People will be happy, but production will not be happening, right? This is team leadership where you talk about line. This is team leadership. Both the things will be okay. Concern for people is high. Concern for production is high. Organization will work, right? Organization will keep on having the profits in the long run, right? So this is leadership, behavioral theory, managerial grid, right? So we talk about the contingency theory, which is the other theory in the chart, and given by the Fedler, right? Fred Fedler, where it is one. Very good. So, you know, contingency theory clearly, talks about the leader and the member relationship. It talks about the task structure, you know, uh, and basically suggests the different leadership styles or approaches may be more effective in the different situation, right? So if you talk about the leader-member relation, this variable refers to the degree of trust and the respect and rapport between the leaders and the followers. Followers and the team members, right? So in situation where the leader-member relations are positive, with the high level of trust and mutual respect, task accomplishment may become very easy because it is mutual. They have got the trust, they have got the respect. Task accomplishment become very easy because there is a bounding, right? There is a bounding. So you talk about the relationship-oriented leadership. Again, it comes like from that, you know, task structure. If you say task structure refers to the clarity and the specificity of the task or the objectives to be accomplished. So, as the name suggests, it will certainly give the clear idea about what the task is. Then it is all up to you how you are going to complete it, right? And of course, I'll be, having the feedbacks for it. I'll having the control, but you need to do the job, right? And task is this, right? So it basically influence over the outcome. And you talk about the position power. Position power refers to the formal authority and the control possessed by the leaders, right? You have got the designation, you have got the authority, you are gonna have enjoy that power, right? So leaders with the high position power have the ability to reward or punish also, right? Allocate resources, make decisions, right? So this is there when you talk about the contingency theory. Based on these situational variables, Fedler proposed, the task-oriented leaders are most effective in situation with either very favorable or very unfavorable conditions. While relationship-oriented leaders are most effective in moderately favorable conditions, right? And task-oriented because you are just giving the you made the things clear, task clear, and people are doing it, you are going to have the control, right? When you talk about the relationship, it is, I think, good. This is my personal opinion. It is good for the organization in the long run. If you talk about the, relationship-oriented leaders, right? So, task-oriented leader focus on the achieving specific goals, as I just said, and relationship-oriented leaders prioritize the, building positive relationship, trust, and collaboration, right? So it works there. And then you talk about the situational leadership theory, which is SLT. Normally, we know this thing by situational leadership theory developed by the Hershey and Blanchard proposes that effective leadership depends on matching leadership style to the developmental level or readiness of the followers. Right now, read it again. Read it again. Situational leadership theory developed by Hershey. Leadership depends on matching Leadership depends on matching leadership style to the developmental level. What does it mean? If you talk about this in situational leadership, you see here high directive, low supportive behavior. Telling, telling, that is S1. Selling, S2. High directive, high supportive behavior. I'll explain it. Participating, low directive, high supportive behavior. Delegating, low directive, low supportive behavior, right? So leaders are expected to adapt their leadership style based on the competence and the commitment of the followers, with the goal of helping them progress to higher level of readiness and autonomy. Now, after reading this, can you relate it with some of the previous theory which we have discussed in the previous session or previous to previous session? Because see, theories normally get developed over a period of time, taking the references from the past theories. So, if you talk about this telling high directive, low supportive, something comes in your mind, something like theory X or something employs, where you need to tell these people that you need to do this thing, and they are like, okay, I mean, they are kind of lazy, right? Can we relate it, right? I don't know, just giving you a food for thought, right? Think about it, right? So, when you talk about this situational leadership theory, you know, leader will be adapting the theories by looking at the situations, right? According to the situation, they will, according to the commitment level of the team members, they adapt the leadership style. If the person is like theory Y kind of person, it is different thing altogether, right? If he is ready to take the responsibilities, I'll delegate the task, and then after I'll forget that yes, I'll rest, I'll sit back and relax, and I'm sure that things will be done, right? So that's how it happens. You talk about the transformational leadership story or theory. So basically, transformer leadership theory focuses on the leader's ability to inspire and motivate. So basically, it is lead by the examples, right? Exceptional performance and organizational change, right? So leaders basically articulate a compelling vision, foster the innovation, creativity, empower, the empower and develop the followers or the teammates rather, and lead by the example, right? In the transformational leadership, right? Then you talk about the LMX, that is leader member theory, leader member exchange theory, right? In this, it is basically also known as the vertical dyad linkage theory. And this is the leadership theory which focuses on the relationship between the leaders and the individual followers within the organization, right? Developed in 1970 around. And LMX theory suggests that the leaders from unique exchange relation, leaders form unique exchange relationship with the followers, each of the followers, right, which can have significant implication. Now, it is kind of one-to-one relationship, right? Uh, there are certain employees who are or team members who are having good relationship with the leaders. There are certain employees who are having not so good relationship with the leaders and all, right? So key concept here is in group or out group, right? In group or out group, what does it mean? So in group, out group, basically according to LMX theory, leaders develop distinct relationship with their followers, right? The in group consists of the follower who have high quality exchange relationship with the leader. So they are there in the group. These followers receive more attention, support, resources. So somehow, I mean, you may, get the feeling that biasness is there somewhere, but uh, at times it happens, right? Because the kind of leader we have and the followers wavelength, mental wavelength matches, right? So it is there. You talk about the out group consists of the follower who have lower quality exchange relationship with the leader. So these followers receive fewer benefits and the opportunities. So in that ways, you don't feel like that biasness is there. This is a food for thought, right? But yeah, it happens at times. Followers with mental wavelength matches with the leaders, so they get into the group. It's simple, right? In group, out group, you talk about the leader and the member exchange, and then we talk about the role differentiation, right? So first we have spoken about it. We talk about the leader member LMX. Basically, leader member exchange refers to the quality of the relationship, right, between the leader and the individual follower. So when high quality LMX relationship, that is in group, right? Leaders and follower develop mutual trust, respect, and the loyalty to each other, and they communicate openly, collaborate, and effectively, right? So think about it, if this kind of situation, be there in the organization, how comfortable a person will become, an employee will become in working there, right? At the same point in time, there are certain people who are out group. For them, it is like very bad thing because it is a bad time they will be having because followers have more transactional or task focused interaction. That's it, nothing else, right? So there may be less trust, communication, or mutual respect, maybe leading to the lower level of job satisfaction also, right? So you talk about the role differentiation. In group members maybe assign more challenging tasks. See, remember, challenging task doesn't mean that it is tough task. It is tough, but it is attainable, right? It is realistic. So when it comes to realistic and more challenging, if you remember the satisfiers and the dissatisfiers, it is actually motivating. It is a motivator for the people, right, who are there in group. They are getting more challenging tasks, provided with the additional training or the support. So it is highly motivating for them. But those people who are out group, they will, they will be marginalized, they will be excluded, they will not be probably getting any kind of training. All those things will happen, right? So it is possible that they will get the job dissatisfaction, right? Or lower job satisfaction. So if you talk about the implication part of this thing, employees outcome, leadership effectiveness, and the organizational dynamics, we will talk about. So in-group members may also experience greater career advancement opportunities because they are getting the trainings, they are getting the challenging task. So of course they may get greater career advancements also, right? Mentoring is done by the leader, right? Support is there from the leader. So they enjoy the things, and this is basically for the in-group, right? It will be having the higher job satisfaction, organizational commitment is there. We talk about the leadership effectiveness. Leaders who develop high quality LMX relationship with their followers are perceived as more effective and charismatic leader because trust is there, you know, mental wavelength is matching, and the traits are almost, similar. So automatically work pace will increase and automatically this leader will shine, right? So they are better able to, motivate, inspire, and influence their followers. Sorry. Right. And then there will be loyalty and the trust, so people will not be leaving the job, right? You talk about the organization that, dynamics. Organization that, foster the positive, supportive LMX relationship among the leaders and the followers are likely to experience higher level of employee engagement. As I said, that will not be leaving. They are highly engaged, collaborative, and innovative. So organization will grow in the right direction, right? So LMX theory emphasizes the significance of the relationship between the leader and the individual follower. And by recognizing the importance of high quality exchange relationship and promoting trust, respect, collaboration, organization may cultivate a positive work environment, right? So this is about LMX theory. Now let's come to the other theory, which says path goal theory, small theory we'll talk about, and I think this is the last year. So this is the last in the unit 5, leadership theory also, unit 5 also, and in the slide also, right? So this is my last video for organization behavior. I'll complete this path goal theory and then we'll sign off. All right. So let's talk about this path goal theory. Path goal theory of this leadership was developed by, again, in 1970s. So if you see, a lot of work has been done in 1960s and 70s, right? Almost all the theories, whatever we have discussed in contemporary, that was developed by in 1960s or the 70s, right? So it was developed by Robert. Proposes that the effectiveness of the leader depends on how well the leader can help followers, right? Path goal theory. So, according to this theory, leaders should provide guidance, support, and motivation to their follower to help them reach their objectives and outcome obstacles. Right? The theory is based on the premise that effective leaders clarify the path to goal and remove the obstacles. Right? So, basically, key concept in this is leadership style, path goal clarification, and removing the obstacles, right? So you talk about the leadership style, directive, supportive, participative, or the achievement orientation leadership. What kind of leadership we are talking about, and the leader is adapting basically. So path goal theory basically identifies four main leadership: directive, supportive, participative, and achievement oriented. It is all up to the manager what kind of leadership he or she is adapting, right? Um, but yes, traits will remain, characteristics of this thing will remain same, that you need to clear the path, you need to remove the obstacle, you need to help, support, right? Or to the followers, right? We talk about the path goal clarification. That is very, very important. Leaders clarify the path goal to attain the, to provide the correct, path goal attainment by providing or giving the right guidance, and directions, right? And setting achievable goals. This word is very, very important, right? Achievable goals. This word is very, very important. Please bear in mind. Okay. And they help followers understand their roles, responsibility, and expectations, reducing the ambiguity and the uncertainty. So we talk about the removing obstacles. Leaders identify and remove the obstacles or barrier that hinders the followers' progress towards their goal, right? And this may involve providing resources also, providing extra training also, support to overcome challenges, as well as advocating for followers' needs, right, within the organization. You talk about the providing the rewards. Of course, this is one of the big time satisfiers, right? So leaders provide reward and the incentive that satisfy followers, right? Needs and the motivate them to achieve their goals, right? Reward may include recognition, praise, promotion, or in any form, right? It is positive reinforcement. So when the positive reinforcement is there, followers will also become very, very happy, right? Contingency factor, if you talk about path goal theory, considers various situational factors that can influence the effectiveness of the different leadership styles, such as mm, task structure. You talk about the environmental factor. You talk about the followers' characteristics, right? So this is there. Task structure, basically, clarity and complexity of the task, right? You talk about the environmental factor, external conditions, and the constraints. You talk about the followers' characteristics, that is, the skills and the experience and motivation, and how fast learner he is. Suppose your leader is providing the training, but the follower is unable to grasp the thing. Again, it matters. So you talk about the this path goal theory implication part, which is the last slide, I guess. That is improved performance, flexibility in the leadership style, enhanced satisfaction and motivation, organizational structure, or organizational success, of course, will be the outcomes or the implications, right, of this particular theory. So when you apply the path goal theory, effective leadership may enhance the followers' motivation, satisfaction, which will lead to the organization growth. And by clarifying the path to the goal, it foster the achievement and the success. Right, flexibility in the leadership style is there. Different situations may require different leadership approaches, so flexibility is there. Enhanced satisfaction because you are providing support, training, and everything. So of course, job satisfaction will be there, and motivating factors are there. So people will be motivated to, and they are aligned with the goals of the organization, right? So they will keep on doing some good work, and organization will grow, keep on growing, right? Organization success, of course, this is there when people are motivated and doing their job, achieving the goals. So organization will move in the north direction always. So path goal theory basically, of the leadership emphasizes on the importance of the role of clarifying path, right? So this is there in the path goal theory. Then there are certain, you know, issues what we face in the leadership practice currently, contemporary issues. You talk about digital transformation. So, with the increasing integration of the technology into all aspects of business, leaders must navigate digital transformation initiatives, right? They need to adapt to new digital tools and platforms, right? Because it will foster a culture of innovation, right? So digital transformation need to learn remote work and virtual teams as the advancement in the technology. Remote work and virtual team presents the unique challenges for the leaders, right? Person is sitting in different country altogether and doing some job, what leader will do over the Zoom call or for that matter over video call, what that person will do, right? So T it is basically posing the challenge of the communication, collaboration, and team dynamics. So because everybody is sitting in the different places, right? So leaders must find effective way to manage and motivate remote team, right? And foster a sense of belongingness and you know, maintain the productivity. It is very, very tough nowadays. So here we need what kind of people? Here we need self-motivated people, right? Who are aligned with the organization, and their goals are also in sync with the organization goal. People will automatically work, right? Then you talk about the diversity, equity, and the inclusion. Leaders are increasingly called upon to promote diversity, equity, and the inclusion within their organization. So they must cultivate inclusive cultures, address bias and discrimination, right, and create opportunities for the un, under represented groups, right, to thrive. We talk about the ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is pressing issue, right? In today's world, business landscape, organization face security. Organization is into they are facing the scrutiny in for their action and the decisions what they have taken, right? So leaders must demonstrate integrity, transparency, and the accountability. Now, if you remember, and of course, uphold the ethical standards. So, if you remember, I have already discussed this thing in the unit one, I guess, that ethics is the most important, right? You hire the employee. There are three things: ethics, intelligence, and the energy. So, out of these three things, which one is most important while hiring a candidate? So, in my opinion, it is ethics, because you can make people learn the things right later on. If the energies are not there, you may give that person a team of young people who may run on his behalf. But ethics is something which you cannot, you know, incorporate this trait in the person. This is inherent, right? This is inbuilt characteristic of that fellow, of that particular employee. So ethics becomes most important in today's world, like advancement in the technology, remote teams, right? What leaders will do? I mean, ethics, which plays a vital role here, right? So it is true in the leader also, right? It is true for the employees. It is true for the leaders also. Leaders also has to be ethical enough, right? So change is the constant. Change is the only constant thing, right? In the VUCA word, that is volatile, uncertain, right? Ambiguous, uh, right? And the complex, right? So that is the only constant thing. Change is the only constant thing in the volatile business market. So change management is important, right? You need to address leaders need to address this particular issue effectively. Uh, right? Work-life balance is there. Leaders need to understand this thing uh, because promoting work-life balance is very, very important. This is big time motivated for the employees, right? They must recognize the importance of employee health and wellness. It is very, very important, right? Crisis situations such as the pandemic, we have all seen, right? That is the crisis situation, right? So natural disaster, if you see financial crisis, right? Leader must be able to handle this thing with the empathy, right? And demonstrate the decisiveness, right? Leaders must effectively lead their organization through the crisis and prioritize the safety and well-being of the employees first, and make tough decisions under the pressure, right? So this is their environmental sustainability. It's a big issue nowadays across the globe. People are talking about across, environment SDG goals are there. Meetings are happening, right? We are talking about the, climate change and all those things we are talking about, right? And across the globe, right? This is the global phenomenon. So environmental sustainability, if you talk about, is growing concern for organization, yeah, requiring leaders also to address environmental impact, reduce carbon footprints, right? That is why we generally talk about, as long as it is not needed, please do not take the printouts, right? Because when you take the printouts, you use the paper, and paper, of course, we all know it's the product we get from the trees, right? So sustainable future, we need to work today. We need to take some tough decisions today. We need to align the things properly so that we can have the sustainable future. We can give something to the next generation, right? That's how it is. So leaders need to, you know, properly address this particular issue also, right? You talk about the globalization and cultural intelligence. Globalization has increased the complexities of the organization environment, requiring leaders to navigate diverse cultural context and the work, right, with multicultural terms. So culture is different, as I said, that you need to first respect. First of all, you need to pay respect to all the culture across the globe. Doesn't matter where you are, you need to pay the respect, right? So leaders must develop the cultural intelligence, right? Understand cultural nuances and adapt their leadership style, right? Effective across the borders also. We talk about the resilient leadership, which is the, I guess, last point in the slide. And resilient leadership is basically, essential, I would say, um, for navigating the uncertainty and volatile, you know, disruptions, right? Leaders must demonstrate adaptability. Again, the word comes in the picture. Adaptability is very important. Agility, yeah, that is the another word, and resilience in the face of the challenges, right? Inspire confidence and optimism, and guide their organization through the period of change and adversity, right? So contemporary issues in the leadership practice reflect the evolving nature of organization environment and the complex challenges that leader must navigate, right, to drive success and sustainability. So effective leaders must continuously adapt, innovate, lead with the purpose to address these issues and drive positive change within their organization and the community, right? So with this note, I'll stop here. This is the last slide of Unit 5 of your syllabus also. Your syllabus is complete. I officially declare that Unit 5 is over and your syllabus is also over. So I would request you to please, check the PPTs and start practicing the theories what we have already discussed about the motivation and I would say I'll just stop sharing screen first. And the transaction analysis TA. This is again very very important, right? You need to start practicing it. And if in case you face any kind of doubt, any problems you think, and you want to discuss something with me, you are most welcome. You can write to me, you can come down and we can discuss about it, right? Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. And enjoy yourself. Bye-bye. Take care. Happy learning. Bye-bye.
Family is the genesis of this group.
Family is everything for us.
They know the nitty-gritty of what needs to be done.
We're each other's building blocks.
It has never been two families. It has always been one.
પરિવાર એ જ સર્વસ્વ છે.
Without family, I think we would lose my sense of direction. So the Marwari Group's foundation, I think, comes from the desire to prosper. Starting with Marwari Shares and Finance, the retail financial services business, and primarily into stock markets and stock broking segment in India. Essentially, we have 110 odd branches across Gujarat, Maharashtra, about 4 lakh customers or 400,000 customers. It's a business that's stood the test of time.
એટલે એ અમારા ફાધરના ટાઈમથી આવ્યું છે કે આપણે કોઈ પણની અપેક્ષા વગર કોઈને પણ સપોર્ટ કરવો કે એવું નહોતું એમ કે કોઈ પણ નીડ બેઝ હોય કે કાંઈ પણ ઓર્ગેનાઇઝેશનમાં સ્ટાફ હોય એને આપણે ફેમિલીની જેમ જ ગણીએ છીએ, કોઈ દી સ્ટાફ તરીકે કે એવું ગણતા નથી એમ.
Then we talk about Marwari University, which was founded in 2009 by my father, and Jeetubhai Chandarana as the co-founder of the Chandarana family.
We started as just 360 students with just 5 classes on ground. But at the same time, the vision was huge.
We are now at 11,000 students, and it's a 35-acre campus.
અને એ બધું 100% વિઝન એનું જ છે અને આખું એન્ટાયર નેટવર્ક યુનિવર્સિટીનું એ જ જોવે છે.
Creating new generational students, helping them to do well in life, needs multi-dimensional approaches these days.
So that's how we started that let's do something for society and to give something which is missing in this country. So that's how we started setting up this university.
So Marwari Chandarana Intermediaries and Brokers Private Limited. So that entity is in partnership with the Chandarana family, Jeetubhai Chandarana, Nishit Chandarana, and Amish Chandarana. So that's about proprietary and algorithmic trading, where we've got about 1,500 plus traders directly, indirectly working with us.
ત્યારે મેં હંમેશા વિચાર્યું છે કે કોઈ પણ બિઝનેસથી એવી રીતે કરવો જોઈએ કે જે સ્કાય ઇઝ ધ લિમિટ હોવી જોઈએ. એમાં કંઈ લિમિટેશન હોવા જ ન જોઈએ. તમારી જેટલી કેપેસિટી વધે એટલું તમારે કામ આગળ ને આગળ તમારી પાસે હોવું જ જોઈએ.
So far what we are traditional broker with, of course, a pinch of all the new age technology available in our business.
I am a hardcore trader. I am always on the screen. I used to hear the talks about markets, business on the dinner table. So it was always fascinating about joining stock markets at an early age. So that's how I joined them, my father and my brother.
Business and the partnership is just based on trust.
It's not just one person who is going to achieve success. It's all of us together who are going to reach our goal and achieve success.
Most recent business we've entered is Pixin Energy. We've entered energy as a sector and power as a sector.
We have around 200 people now, and one question, when we ask, why do you want to join Pixin? They have, this one standard answer that it's a group, it's a part of the Marwadi family, and that's why we want to join.
That belongingness, that ownership should come if you treat them like your family members.
The most recent business and the latest one is One Finance, which I founded. One Finance is essentially a reimagined personal finance institution.
We started with building it on multiple values and all that, but we just wanted that one word that can define that why do we exist. And then finally we realized that just by being honest, everything else falls in line,
So we offer unbiased, qualified and hyper-personalized advice on one's personal finances.
We have always believed in, building up the relationship with clients and our authorized partners who are, pillars for our success, I would say.
If you don't have people whom you share your success or prosperity, then it has no relevance on its own. So Believe Family is an effort as united we achieve something. And we all three brothers, told our father, no, we will not take this risk. But he said, no, I'm going ahead with it, whether you join us or not. And that's how we are today where we are. So it was his courage, his entrepreneurship, and his ability to see future. I think that's what made us today what we are.
યંગર જનરેશન પાસેથી તો ઘણું શીખવા મળ્યું છે જે અમને અત્યારે નવું જે યંગર જનરેશન ડેવલપ કરે છે સારી ભાવનાથી સારી રીતે.
They are carrying the legacy forward, and I'm very proud to know that and to share even that. I mean, it's a very proud thing for us.
દરેક વસ્તુઓ છે એ પેરેન્ટ્સે પણ સમજવી પડે કે તમે એને એની રીતે કરવાની છૂટ આપો. એના અત્યારના જનરેશન પ્રમાણે એને આગળ વધવા દો.
They have an open mind to take it to the next level and exploring other ways, the ways that may not have worked for them.
Like every generation learns from new generation. Like what my father couldn't do, we did it. What we don't understand, they are doing it.
I think the Marwari Chandarana group represents and lives purpose. It represents and lives impact. It represents and lives creating sustainable long-term businesses and organizations. And Marwari Chandarana group represents taking risks where it matters, not just for themselves but those who we impact directly and indirectly, right? So we employ about 4,500 people across all organizations. We've got about 5 lakh customers, students, so on and so forth. We've designed the business model in a way where the customer and the people's interest, directly or indirectly, is at the heart of our business. So we're a people-centric company. We're not a customer-centric or an employee-centric company. Without our values, Marwari and Marwari Chandarana Group won't be where it is today.